We all know that CEOs make a lot of money. They either work their way up the corporate ladder to get the fancy office and dedicated parking place, or their parents handed them the job. However, being the CEO of the world's largest corporation does not usually mean being the most paid. Jeff Bezos is widely thought to be the richest person in the world, but his base salary as CEO is only $81,840 per year. Welcome to Financial Fluence. In this video, we'll look at the world's highest paid CEOs. Let's now get going. Number 10. Shantanu Narayen. Shantanu Narayen is Adobe's current CEO. In 2019, his total CEO salary was $39.1 million. The corporation's annual sales are $11.2 billion, with an average employee salary of $147,115. This indicates that overall CEO pay is 266 times that of average employee pay. He started his career at Apple before going on to Silicon Graphics, where he is currently the director of desktop and collaborative products. He worked his way up at Silicon Graphics until 1998, when he became the senior vice president of global product research at Adobe. His accomplishments were rewarded in late 2007 when he was appointed CEO. Under his direction, Adobe experienced year-over-year growth in sales and eventually rose to become a Fortune 400 company. Number 9. Bill McDermott. Bill McDermott, the current CEO of the software company Service, earns $41.7 million annually as CEO, which is far more than the average employee salary of $223,900, and places him second on your list despite my lack of notoriety in the computer industry. However, the Service makes $3.5 billion annually and seems to have the money to cover it. When Bill was young, he invested $7,000 in a Long Island delicatessen, changing his life permanently and launching his commercial career. Until being named CEO of the German software business SAP America, he worked in a number of other professions before accepting the role of Executive Vice President of Siebel Systems in 2002. In 2014, he became the first American to lead SAP as a whole. Despite his dislike for SAP, he increased the sector's market value from $39 billion to $159 billion. He joined the military, advanced to the position of CEO, and probably decided to work there because of the pay. Number 8. Lachlan Murdoch. Surprisingly, every CEO on our list is a self-made success, except for the CEO of Fox Corporation, Lachlan Murdoch. After growing up in a wealthy household, Rupert Murdoch started News Corporation. His total CEO salary for 2019 was $42.1 million, based on a $1.1 billion yearly corporate income. He worked in the media profession, like his father, as the general manager of Queensland newspapers until 1995, when he became the publisher of Australia's first national newspaper. He was named Deputy CEO of News Limited in 1996, and his responsibilities rose year after year. In 2000, he was named his second in command, then Executive Vice President, and finally, Chairman. He was only at 21st Century Fox for a year before being named Executive Chairman, and when the firm was bought out by Disney in 2019, he was named CEO of Fox Corporation, a position he still holds today. Number 7. Satya Nadella. Satya Nadella, the current CEO of Microsoft, made a whopping $42.9 million in 2019. This is a huge difference from the average employee salary of $172,512 per year. He worked at Sun Microsystems before joining Microsoft in 1992. His management of major Microsoft programs, especially the huge move to the cloud, had a big effect on the company. Under his leadership, cloud revenue increased from $16.5 billion to $20.3 billion. He was then named president of Microsoft's Server and Tools division. He was named CEO for the third time in the organization's existence in 2014. At the time, his annual salary was $700,000, but it has now more than doubled. Number 6. Miguel Patricio. Miguel Patricio, the CEO of a large corporation, is possibly the most mysterious CEO on our list. In 2016, Kraft Heinz' total CEO remuneration was $43.3 million, which was 1,014 times larger than the typical employee income of $42,689. He has previously worked with Philip Morris, Coca-Cola, and Johnson & Johnson. He then worked for Anheuser-Busch for 2 decades, eventually rising to the position of Chief Marketing Officer, where he stayed for 6 years before moving on to Kraft Heinz as CEO, where he currently works and earns a good living. And before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and turn on the notification bell to be notified every time a new video is uploaded. Let's return to the video now. Number 5. David Zaslav. We all know that television is profitable, yet David Zaslav, the CEO of Discovery, is the only person on this list who works in the industry. In 2019, his total CEO salary was $45.8 million, a $200,000 increase over Miguel Patricio. He oversaw networks like Bravo, The Weather Channel, USA Network, The History Channel, and Sundance, while serving as head of cable and domestic television. When he took over as CEO of Discovery in January of 2007, the company had only recently gone public. He was important in negotiating a 12-year deal with the PGA Tour to acquire the live rights to all of its programs. Over 2,000 hours per year as CEO is a lot of content, and a year later, it's already having an impact on Discovery. He also drew murder mystery enthusiasts to Investigation Discovery, one of America's fastest-growing cable networks. Number 4. John C. Plant. The oldest CEO on our list, John C. Plant, has worked in business for a while and is currently the CEO of Howmet Aerospace, where he unquestionably makes a good living. Following TRW Automotive's acquisition of Lucas Verity, UK-based auto part supplier John was appointed chairman. Under his direction, TRW finally employed over 65,000 people across more than 190 facilities after a number of prosperous years. There may be a pattern here, since John was in charge of Arconic for 2 years after CF Frederick Schoffen bought TRW. Number 3. Lisa Su. Lisa Su, the first woman on the list, has worked hard to advance in a difficult industry. She's currently the CEO of Advanced Micro Devices, a company you've probably never heard of, but whose products you rely on a daily basis. Her total CEO pay in 2019 was $58.5 million, much above the median employee wage of $96,824. Her first job was at Texas Instruments, and she rose through the ranks to become vice president of IBM's Semiconductor R&D group. She made a big difference in making new materials that can be used in semiconductor devices. Her work was noticed, and she quickly moved up the ranks to become the technical assistant to IBM's CEO, then the director of product development, and finally the general manager of Advanced Micro Devices, a company that makes computer chips. She was appointed CEO immediately after being hired. When she first began the company, she hoped to diversify it. But by 2015, non-PC industries accounted for barely 10% of sales. 40% is primarily from the non-PC video game industry. Number 2. Bob Swan. Go see Intel's current CEO, Bob Swan, if you want to meet someone who has held practically every job in the firm. Given the average employee wage of $96,300, his CEO salary in 2019 was staggering at $66.9 million. Prior to the closing of Webvan, he was CEO of GE Transportation Systems, CFO of GE Lighting, Vice President of Finance for GE Medical Systems in Europe, and CEO of GE. Despite this, he was able to take a position as CFO with Northrop Grumman, Space and Mission Systems Corporations. He later worked as the CFO of eBay and HP Enterprise Services. Number 1. Sundar Pichai. Alphabet, where Sundar Pichai works, pays its employees an average wage of $256,708 annually, more than 4 times the salary of the runner-up. He earned an incredible $280.6 million in 2019. He became a material engineer at Google in 2004. He was in charge of the product management and development of Google Chrome. He was in charge of important technologies like Gmail, Google Maps, and Android while he was at Google. This helped them move up the corporate ladder and become CEO of Alphabet Inc. in 2019. And that's all. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you enjoy similar stuff, check out my other videos. And if you like it, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell, and I'll see you in the next video.